Hello and welcome to today's Just Chopsing Podcast. I hope I got my teeth in straight. And today we are with Welsh disabled. I'll say I've got my teeth in
Disabled?
fucking
Oh,
straight.
it's gone downhill already.
Welsh
Mike.
disabled #1 golfer, and he is also ranked top 10 in the world in the disability section. Is that called a section, is it?
Category even?
Category, that's it. I couldn't get the
There
word.
you go, mate.
And it is Mr. Mike Jones. How are we doing, Mike?
Hi guys, great to see you, and
Great to be here.
it's great to be here after what happened to me, mate. I tell you, every day's a bonus. Every day's a birthday, no?
It is. I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit. I mean, I've known you for 40 years, I guess.
It is now 40 years, yeah. Lad, yeah.
We were all drinking buddies back in the day. Obviously, we were drinking underage if we've known each other for 40 years.
Yep. Well, everybody did income brand back then, I think.
I think they still do
by
now.
the time you were 18, you were past drinking, you got enough of that.
That's right, yeah.
But, like I said, you are a disabled golf. Are you a pro or a semi-pro or what?
I'm not a pro. Completely amateur at the moment.
Okay.
We have got some guys who have gone down the professional route. You know, as opportunities have opened up to them, as our game, disabled golf has got bigger, and more people are getting involved. We have got some pros now, but I'm a bit too old for that now. I'm just an amateur, and I'm more about pushing opportunities for the younger people in Wales with disability.
I don't think you can ever be too old to become a pro golfer.
No, you can be, but it takes up so much of my time now. If I became professional, you'd have to dedicate a huge amount of time to it.
Yeah,
I just can't do it. Okay. There's no real benefit to it for me. The younger guys, yeah, they got careers in front of them, but for me, it's more about making the opportunities for other people. I get more out of that, if I'm honest.
Okay, because you play. I mean, I see your Instagram. You're playing every week. If not twice a week.
If I can.
Yeah.
If I can.
mean, in competition
if the body holds it. But competitions, yeah, through the summer, it's very, very busy for me. All different locations, different events. So last week I was in a beautiful place in northwest Wales, just above Aberystwyth, Abu Dhabi, for the Welsh seniors. So it wasn't a disabled event. It was over 55s. No golf handicap. So I had to play against like the top senior Welsh golfers. And did all right. I did all right up there, apart from pulling my back out on the second day, putting my shoe on.
Oh yeah.
That's just age for you, that is. And my foot, I've got a prosthetic leg, and my foot just doesn't bend. So if I'm lazy and don't take my leg off to put my shoe on, I can end up twinging my back, which is what I did. So just lazy.
Okay. So you just mentioned your prosthetic leg. I mean, I can't say when I knew you because I still know you. But when I knew you before I disowned you, yeah. Before your accident, I obviously knew you and you had two legs.
Yeah.
And you unfortunately had a motorbike accident a few years ago, which I remember quite well. And do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what am I now? 56 now. 57 this year and 50 years old. I had a bike because I lived in Wales but worked in Bristol. So the bridge at the time was a charge on it, which was extortionate. So it just made sense for me to have a bike. I had a nice big bike, an MT-09 Tracer. Yamaha had just released it and I loved it. It was really quick. Drove it like an idiot sometimes and drove it sensibly most of the time, if I'm honest. Yeah. And I was doing 25 mile an hour down Lanternum Road, which is a local road that Kerry would know, past what used to be Lanternum School, and a young 19-year-old in a works van just didn't even look out of a side street and sideswiped me. So he crushed my left leg below the knee. So I hope anybody's eating their tea now watching this. So I had 2 double open fractures of tib and fib below the knee. So that's basically both bones broken out through my boot. So that's how bad the impact was. And my foot got every bone in my foot got crushed and broken. And the force of the impact hit my thigh through the back of my pelvis, snapped my pelvis in half, and snapped the head off my femur. But apart from that, I was all right.
Yeah. Bet you couldn't wait to get back on the bike.
Yeah.
Oh, no, never ride again, mate. Never ride
No,
again.
when you were on the floor, I mean, because the first instinct when you're a motorbike and you fall off your motorbike is like, fuck, is my bike okay?
Brush yourself down.
You know?
Get up, fall down. Get up, fall down. What's going on here?
Yeah. But I suppose those shows you couldn't go up.
I cannot remember. I think it's where your mind shuts down. Like, I'm a firm believer in, a big believer now in how strong your mind is and energy and all that. Airy fairy stuff, I used to call it, and now I'm a firm believer in it. And my mind's basically shut down, so I can't remember anything. I think it's 2 weeks before and 3 weeks after.
As long as that.
No recollection of it whatsoever. I was heavily sedated. They put me on morphine straight away, the maximum they could. So that helped. I'm not going to remember anything if I'm on that much morphine, if I'm honest.
Did they put it on you 2 weeks before?
And 2 weeks before, yeah, because I thought I could remember. I was on it heavily for 2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks before.
Because of the morphine. Should have been riding the bike, really.
Guy, there was no guy there, really, was there? It's all in your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah,
were
2
you
weeks
hanging
before.
out the bedroom window? Shut up, love, I'm on the way to work. Ah!
Yeah. Fell out the window, yeah. So yeah, it was quite a serious accident, if you like, because I remember you were in hospital for quite a long time.
It was quite severe. So it was, 22 hours of operations to amputate the leg from the knee down. But the first operation they did, they tried to repair my hip. So they plated my pelvis back together and then did something called a dynamic hip screw. I don't know if you know what. So they sort of put the head of the femur back on top of the thigh bone, drill down through it, put a screw down through, plate that to the side of the thigh bone, and then an adjustable screw goes into the head of the femur that they can adjust and get the angles right. Then they hold that in place and wait for that bone to grow back. So they did that, but if after 3 months the head of the femur died, it never got blood circulation back into it. So it crumbled, and I was walking around, if you imagine, a pin that went through the ball of my femur. The femur disintegrated, so the pin is just sat there in my pelvic socket. So if I took small steps, great, it'd pivot okay. If I took a big step, the pin would jump around and I was like, it was just horrendously painful, extremely tough, but they were telling me, you've got so much metal work in there, it's going to be horrible, it's going to feel. So I just got on with it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it was that attitude of I just got to get on with it. When I did have my hip replaced, it was a dawdle then. Everything felt easy. 6 months walking in agony to suddenly being pain-free. And everything's done for a purpose. Everything's done for a reason. So put me through that test, make it difficult, so that when the opportunity comes to kick on, you're ready to go.
Yeah. Take the pain away, and then give you a reason to fight a bit harder, I guess, when the pain's gone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But,
so did you play golf before the accident then at a good level, or is that something you picked up afterwards?
I was a pretty decent player. I think I started when I was 28. I think, yeah, it might have been younger than that. Let me think now. 1992. Yeah, so my boy was 26. Yeah, I was 26 when I started. Got pretty good at it quickly, but I think I always felt I was a natural sportsman. Loved my football, loved rugby. Anything that I could hit something was great. Beating people up, that was always fun. Anytime I could hit something that was moving, I enjoyed it. So it was a perfect sport for me. I could dedicate time to it. I'm a bit analytical because my engineering background, so all the mechanics of it fascinated me, and it was a perfect fit.
Yeah. So how soon did you pick it back up after the accident?
Well, if I'm honest, I was in hospital. Didn't think I'd ever be able to. There was so many other things going on in my head. Once I became aware again, so say a month after the accident, you're just trying to process all the shit that's gone on, really, and how am I going to deal with this? What am I going to do? Support the family was the first thing in your mind. Pay the mortgage. Look after the kids. Look after the wife. How am I going to do all that? Golf was secondary, and I think one of my mates came in and said, "Look, I found this on the internet. This is where the internet is a marvelous thing." And it was a guy from the Dominican Republic, Manuel de los Santos, and he was playing literally on one leg without the prosthetic. So I watched that, and it's a really, really powerful film. I don't know if I've shown you that, but it is a professionally made film to raise awareness. And I watched that, and I was watching that every night in hospital before I went to bed. I was like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. Then the first time I went, I was absolutely rank. I was so bad at it. It was up Green Meadow driving range, and I thought, I can't do this. And one of the guys from the Welsh Disabled Golf Association came along with me, and he watched me at a couple of wedges, and I'm thinking, I'm skanking this. He went, oh my God, you could be one of our best players. I'm like, what? Seriously? I was like, And as it was, then I went on and won a load of stuff in the first couple of years. It was all new and exciting. We traveled the world and played in so many different events, won all over the world, and everything sort of settled down now. I found my rhythm. I found where I want to play, who I want to play with, the competitions I want to do. So I had a blowout, I suppose. I needed that blowout, just smash it until, right, I've done all the fun stuff, got to settle down now,
Yeah, well, that's it. You get the excitement out of the way, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, well, for a start, you had to learn to completely walk again.
Yeah.
And then when you could walk again, you had to learn to play the golf again.
Yeah, and then
to be told, you could be one of the best disabled players that Wales has. It's like, I'm excited. Then it gets your juices flowing.
Yeah.
Then you go at it 120 miles an hour. I mean, I'm exactly the same as you. You go at 120 miles an hour, you get all these wild ideas, and then it's like after a short period of time. I mean, I'd call 2 to 3 years a short period of time.
Yeah.
And after that period of time, it's like, well, yeah, okay. Now we can reassess where we're at. Like,
it's sort of been there, done now. Right, what can I do now? And luckily, it's still in the golf business. It's still. I always wanted to be. I would have loved to have been a professional golfer. Earning sorts of money those guys were, and it never materialized. But now, I've got a chance to, like, it's every kid's dream, really, do a job that. And I don't. It's not really a job. I'm a director of a business, and I'm loving every bit of it because I'm in an industry that I enjoy. It's working with people that I like, engaging with people. Everything's just a nice fit now.
Yeah. So you're director of business. Is that your Edgar?
No. This is Great Days Golf. So we run golf days with rugby celebs and football celebs tied on the end. And Edgar is the European Disabled Golf Association.
Okay.
They did run the game worldwide now. It's gone from a small start in maybe 10 to 15 years ago. I can't remember how many years ago exactly, with maybe 5 to 6 golf federations from around Europe, to now I think there's over 50 federations worldwide.
Okay.
We have official world rankings, massive events that are televised. It's exploded. So I'm passionate about doing everything I can for them, because there's youngsters in it now, which is great to see. It was a lot of older people when I played in it because they've got the time to play golf. But now these opportunities are here. There's youngsters coming through, and some of them are so talented. They're the ones that have turned professional. They got a chance to make a career out of a sport that basically didn't exist 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Yeah. Is it a Paralympic sport as well now, Mike?
They're looking. The president of Edgar, which is a guy called Tony Bennett, he sits on the IGF as well. Is it the IJ? Yeah, International Golf Federation, and he deals with the bid to the IOC.
Right.
So they're in the process of putting it together. But the most difficult thing is classification. We can't just say disabled golfer.
Yeah.
They have to classify it because of the uniqueness of the sport and so many varied disabilities. That's the toughest thing. And once that classification process is clarified with the main governing bodies, there's every chance that it'll become a Paralympic sport. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That is. Because this, I got to be honest, I love watching the Paralympics. I think it's amazing. It's just inspiring to see. You know, you hear the story of what these guys have been through as well, and then you see them competing at such a high level.
They're crazy. Really they're just as talented, if not more so, than the able-bodied guys. Because all those ones who were at the beginning of the Paralympics competing, they're not getting anything for it. They are now. They're in a position now where they're getting rewards for it. But all those pioneers were getting nothing for it, really.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't continued and put the effort in to compete for the sake of competing, then the guys who are in a position now where they're getting funded and basically getting paid to compete in it, those opportunities would never be there if it weren't for those people, you know, putting all that effort in all those years ago.
Yeah, well, they must have got a medal.
I'd love to get a medal, mate. I'd love to get a medal.
You should have said I would have brought you a medal when I came out to see you the other week.
Oh, yeah, chocolate one, I expect. A special Amsterdam chocolate medal.
A brownie.
I slept last night,
So, tell us about Great Days Golf then, mate.
So it's a golf business. I was asked originally. There was a guy called Sean Holly, who's the commentator on Scrum 5. If you ever watch a rugby, he does Scrum 5 analysis. And Jiffy Davis. So Sean and Simon started the business originally about 2 years ago. I asked Sean, because of his comparing skills, he's an event host as well, would he come along to a charity day I was running and host it for me? So I said, well, I'll take you for a game of golf. Took him for a game of golf, bought him some lunch, a couple of pints, got on really well. I could see how good a golfer he was going to be. He wasn't great then, but you could see all the potential. So we had a couple of more games, and he got to know me and what things I was doing and the links I had with golf clubs around Europe, Australia, America, and such like. And he said, look, we'd like you to be an ambassador for our new business. And I went, oh, not really sure, you know. I said, go on, I'll do it. So in the first couple of weeks, I think it was the first 2 weeks, I brought a few golf clubs on board from London, Switzerland, France, a couple from Wales. The Celtic Manor was a link at the time. Don't like them now. No. There we go. That's a different story. So they invited me then to be a director. And it was a no-brainer for me. Yeah, I'd love to. And I think about a month later, Jiffy came on board as a director as well, Jonathan Davis. Yeah. And we've just gone from strength to strength. We've done quite a few events last year. We've got quite a few under our belt this year already. We've got a couple more coming up. My charity days coming up now next month. And next year, we're looking at just progressing the business. And we're all enjoying it. And
well, that's the main thing.
It's running golf days, and we do free advertising on our app. Advertising for golf clubs via our app that our users use.
Oh, right.
So it's nice. It's nice, simple, straightforward business plan, and it's going well.
Okay. Is it a non-profit organisation or?
No, it's business.
Oh, okay.
You gotta make money. Don't do it for nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got to make money to afford that fucking house. Oh, sorry, I swore then. Afford the house you got.
That's all right. I've seen all your podcasts and swore like hell before. Don't worry about it.
I was going to ask you
the difference is, if you do it for money, it's a business. If you do it without money, it's a hobby.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. That's what this podcast is.
Hey, it's going, mate. I've seen the progression you made. Was it last? No, just over a year ago now, wasn't it?
It's
Yeah.
it is just over 12 months.
And it's awesome, mate. And you work hard at it, and you keep it fresh.
Oh, we try.
You know, scraping the barrel, getting a disabled golfer on board. But
I don't know. I mean, it's a great story, actually. I mean, you know.
Well, thanks, mate. You always say the nicest things.
Well, it is. I mean, you're an inspiration to a lot of people. You know, I do follow your IG, and I see the comments on there that you get from people. So, I mean, I can't. For me, for one, I mean, I've always been your friend anyway.
Yeah.
But I can't knock you for what you do. You know.
Yeah, it's what I found is now those sort of reactions, right? And I'll be completely honest, are far more, I wouldn't say satisfying, but more rewarding than winning a tournament or performing well. So playing in a tournament and winning it and performing well is the most satisfying. That's the best feeling. You know, that's what drives me to practice hard and try to be successful. But rewarding and satisfying are completely different things. The rewarding thing is you're warmed in your heart. And whenever you see, there was a young guy, Dylan, in his early 20s, in a van crash, in the back of a works van, got rolled, broke his neck, thought he was going to be paralysed from the neck down. He got a bit of movement back in his body, and now he's quite severely restricted on one side. But he met me at the clinic I was going to for my rehab, and he was going to the same clinic. Started playing golf. I mean, speaking to me, I think he played before, but wanted to get back involved. We went to France a few weeks back, played in his first Edgar event, and come third.
Brilliant.
And it's like, wow, you know, I'm there. I come third in my category. I didn't really care about I was there. I want to see Dylan win it. I want to see how Dylan got on, you know.
Yeah.
And that now I find that, whether it's because I'm older and I'm a grandfather now, but seeing when you can give something or help someone be happy, that's true happiness for you, because you can have all the creature comforts, all the nice things like money, all those sorts of things. You can have them, but you can strive for all those things, but they don't bring you happiness. They really don't. And I can say that hand on my heart.
Yeah.
But the bit that gives you happiness is helping others.
Yeah. And
seeing like those people enjoying it or enjoying the competition or
doing well.
Yeah, it is. And that is so rewarding. You know, and I was never like that before. I was quite selfish, quite self-centered, all about what I can do and what I can have, and why can't I have that when he's got it? And it's just like the accident completely turned around my way of thinking. And this is the energy thing I was talking. You know, I'm a massive, massive believer now. Feel a vibe off someone straight away. If I feel they're negative, I'll spend 30 seconds at the start of the conversation to try and turn it. If it doesn't happen, I'm off. I'm not interested in engaging with you, sorry.
Yeah.
If you want to be negative, off you go, son. I'm not being part of that. I want to look for someone I can engage with and be positive.
That's why you never spoke to me when I came up your house. Trying to piece it all together. I was like, well, what's wrong with him?
You did say you walked straight from the front door to the back door, so yeah.
Came in through the front door, out through the tradesman's entrance.
But that's what I was going to say. When you were talking about Sean Holly, actually, and you said you took him for a game of golf, bought him a couple of pints. Yeah. Did he do anything risky in a golf buggy?
That's Andy Powell, that is.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't Sean Holly with him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he wasn't.
At our golf days, we had Ryan Jones at one of our recent ones, two of our recent ones actually. And the first one, he gave the inside story of Andy Powell's buggy incident from his perspective as captain.
Oh, right.
So Ryan Jones was captain of the Wales side at the time, and Warren Gatlin was coach. And from what I can gather, listening to Ryan speak at our days, I don't think they really got on quite well. He was obviously a very, very talented player and deserved his place, but I don't think personally they got on that well. Anyway, so they had a big win in Cardiff, and Warren had said to Ryan, right, okay, off you go, you can have a night on the town. But I want everybody back on the bus outside Revolution by the castle, 1:15 in the morning. Any of the players missing, you'll never play for Wales again. He's like, shit, the poison chalice.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, this is Ryan Jones saying it now. He said, I managed to round all the boys up. We're on a coach, do a head count, one missing. Who's missing? Andy Powell. We're thinking, oh, shit. There's 5 minutes to go. There comes Andy Powell down the street. So you got no shirt, one trouser leg not rolled up, one trouser leg missing. He's just gone. And his tie wrapped around his head. Got on the coach, right, we're all on. Great. I can still play for Wales. Off we go. And while they're driving back to the Vale on the coach, all Andy Powell's is saying, I want a lion bar and a can of tango. I'm starving. And Ryan Joseph thought, oh, don't worry, 24-hour room service in the Vale. You can have all the grub he wants, no problem. Get back to the hotel. I don't want any of that room service. He wants a lion bar and a can of tango. So suddenly he disappears. So he takes the buggy, off he goes to the motorway, but the right way on the motorway is shut for maintenance. So he thinks, oh, fuck it, I'll go down the wrong side. So as he goes down the slip road on the wrong way with all the cones out, he picks one of the cones up with a flashing light, puts it on top of the buggy. So off he goes, down to the services. Obviously, there's people phoning up like he's a fucking idiot on a golf buggy driving the wrong way down the M4 at 2:30 in the morning or whatever it was. Yeah. So all the police converge on the services, and he sat there eating his lion bar, drinking his tango in the services. So they take him off, arrest him, blah, blah, blah. So Ryan said, I had to go to the court, the magistrate court, because I was Wales captain, representing and all this. So we get in there, they whack him with a big ban, hefty fine and all that. But as the judge was summing up, he said, but I'm going to cut the ban in half and cut the fine in half because of the mitigating circumstances. Like everybody was sort of like, mitigating circumstances? At least, I know you drove the wrong way down the motorway, you did this, you were drunk, you shouldn't have done it. But at least you had the foresight to put a cone with a flashing light on the top to make people aware that you were. So it was good. And those sorts of little stories of what comes across, they're really entertaining. You get a different perspective on a story that everybody knows,
Yeah. Have you got any funny stories about playing golf?
Yeah. I played with a guy called Paulius with no arms, right, from Finland. So we're playing in Portugal. We're playing in Portugal, just south of Lisbon. There's a place called Troia, which is a massive sandbank peninsula just south of Lisbon. And they've built a golf course on the end of it. So if you imagine, it's exposed to the Atlantic, windy as hell, sand everywhere, and just the fairways kept. There's no rough, just the fairways and sand. Okay. And I'm playing with a lady called Monique Kalkman, who's, I'm sure she's Dutch, in the Tennis Hall of Fame, wheelchair tennis player, started playing golf as well. And Paulius with no hands. So he's lost both his hands just below the elbow, made his own prosthetics for golf that work with a wire around his back. So if he puts his arms forward, the wire stretches and the tubes that are on his hands grip the club. And then if he pulls his arms back, the wire goes loose, the tube's open, spring loaded, and he can take the club out. So you got two tubes instead of hands.
Yeah.
So Monique now, it's her drive into this sand area. So off she goes in now, in her paragolfer, which is like a motorized wheelchair for people with spinal injuries. Gets in there, gets stuck, can't get out. So she's trying to maneuver around. So Paulius, I'm going to help her. He's a bit older than me. I'm going to go and help her. He does this with his clips his tubes on Monique's paragolfer now. She gets a bit of traction and goes and pulls Paul, yes. So, and I'm pushing, so I fell down onto my knee, so I'm kneeling down with my old mechanical prosthetic leg, which is basically a hinge, kneeling down. Paul, yes, is slowly getting dragged because as his arms are out, they grip tight on the thing and he can't let go, right? So he's shouting to Monique. It's windy, so you can't hear him shouting. I eventually get myself up to my feet, but because I've knelt down in the sand, the hinge is full of sand. So my leg is still bent, sticking out behind me. But I don't know that because I can't feel it. It's a mechanical leg.
Yeah.
So I stood up, gone to step with my left leg, and there's no leg here. I've gone straight down on my face. And what the hell? Look at my leg, can't bend my leg. It's full of sand. He's getting dragged by the thing. Eventually, we've been here about 5 minutes. Ref turns up, we've got to get a move on. What's your holding play up here? They're falling. I say, I'm laughing. Look, I can't bend my leg. Paulius is stuck on Monique's trolley and all that. I took my leg off, give it to the referee, and he's all, look at me. He said, 30 years as a ref, no one's ever given me their leg. I don't know what to do. I said, well, just take it over to Beth and she'll
clean it up.
Clean it up. Get it all out. Group's gone through behind. We're sat on the buggy now. So he's thinking, right, we've all had a bit of a panic. We're rushing. So as I've gone to get on the buggy, I've smacked my head on the roof of the buggy, rushing to get in there. So I'm like, oh, God, that's all right. Really frustrated, really angry, upset. Paulius has managed to uncouple himself from Monique's bloody trolley thing. Beth goes, carry a bag. I got some chocolate in here. Do you want some chocolate? Oh, yeah, I'll have a Mars bar. So I got a Mars bar. We go to Paulius. Paulius, would you like a Mars bar? And he went, oh, yeah, please. So I'm driving the buggy, eating my thing, and he nudges me and just goes, like, out with his hand. I can't open a Mars bar. Like, basically, in broken English of Finnish. Oh, sorry, Paulius. So I unthing the Mars bar now. I got it. I hold it up like that. And I look, and he's just sat there. And then I think, I got to move it to his mouth, because he can't hold it. And as I pushed it back, he's moved forward, and he got the entire Mars bar straight to the back of his throat. He just got a brown tip sticking out. And he's going, he can't breathe, right? He can't spit it out because he can't get hold of it. And he's hitting me and going, and I mean, the tip of the Mars bar is just sticking out through his lips. Like, shit, I'm going to kill him. Grab all this Mars bar, pull his sopping, saliva-soaked Mars bar out, chuck it on the floor like that. Paulius looked at me, he said, you tried to fucking kill me? Stuck your hands like it was hysterical. That was an eventful afternoon, and Beth can corroborate every part of our story.
Yeah, that sounds well funny. Hey, you could at least you could laugh about it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I wasn't getting choked. The Paulius wasn't happy at all.
No, but Paulius could probably tell that story as well and have a laugh about it. Yeah. There's some crazy Welshman with one leg trying to murder me with a Mars bar. Oh dear.
Good.
So go back to normal golf for a minute. I mean, who are your 3 favourite golfers then, and why?
Lee Trevino, because of his charisma. He's just flamboyant, engaging. He seems like a people's man. Came from nothing, earned every bit of the thing he had, and is a saying he's quite famous for that I absolutely love. And he says, these young guys don't know what pressure is in golf. Pressure in golf is when you're playing for $5 and you've only got $2 in your pocket.
Yeah.
He said that's like real pressure. Tiger, I think everyone says Tiger, but I personally like him because of his commitment and his one-mindedness. Lots of people don't like him. He is a bit Marmite with some of the things he's done, but from a golfing perspective,
Can you call him Marmite?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's love it or hate it. That's nothing to do with the colour of his skin. Stop trying to leave me. I watched Ricky Gervais, mate. I know exactly how to deal with people like you.
Well,
Not
apparently
my
he's
words.
just become a
Not
billionaire.
my words. It's something I read. Not my
He's just
words.
become a billionaire, isn't he, Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
I'd be
That's
surprised.
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing his wife took half his money as well.
Yeah, he's stratospheric. But the thing is, he made money for so many others.
Yeah,
That's what he did. He opened the floodgates up for sponsorship, and like the example I always give, I think I can't remember the years exactly, but it was either 1997, 1998 when he won the Masters or whatever in his first or second year as a pro. But Tom Kite was the all-time leading money winner with something like $10 million career earnings.
Mm.
And 2 seasons after that, Tiger Woods was the first player to earn over $1 million in a season.
Mm.
That's the stratospheric 10 million in a season. Sorry, that was the stratospheric change in money.
Yeah.
So I would say Trevino, Woods, and Ballesteros, because he was like Seve he's just a magician. An absolute magician. You see some of the shots he hit, and you think, I've been fortunate enough to go. There was a place in Cron-sur-Sierra, right? He was playing the 18th green, and the young boy that just won the US Open, Matt Fitzpatrick, his caddy Billy Foster was Seve's caddy back in the day, and he was in Crons, and he did this terrible drive. They were still in the competition barely. But he was behind these bushes. There was an old wall part of an outbuilding. He was dead. Like, all he could do was chip out sideways and get a ball back in play. So Billy Foster tells this story regularly on his after dinners. He said, I'm trying to tell him, Seve, you have to chip out. And Seve's going, I see a gap. And he said, I swear to God, he said the gap is about, I mean, that's how he holds it. In these trees, over a wall, over water, to the green. And Billy's going, I really don't think you should give me the club, Billy. What do you know? He gets in there, and he's in the middle of the bushes and the trees. Everybody's going, what is he doing? Hits this ball out, it comes, rolls up, 2 foot short of the green. He said, never seen a shot like that in my life. And what does he do then? Goes and chips it in for birdie. And he said, that was said, he was just a magician. He could just make things happen. So they're my 3 all-time favourites, those 3 guys. Different reasons for all of them,
Because, I mean, you're saying about the careers. I mean, is Tiger still playing golf? I don't think he is he?
He is. They reckon St Andrews now. He's going to be at St Andrews, which is second week of July, the 150th Open Championship.
Okay.
So I've heard rumours, I don't know whether this is true or not, that he might retire. That might be his swan song.
Oh, right.
It would be a fitting place for him to end his career, He's won there a couple of times, and so has Jack. So, but
you're going to think he'd go out on a win, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he'll win it. His injuries, when I read what his injuries were, they were almost a carbon copy for mine, lower leg. 2 double open fractures, I believe. That's what I read. Or you read Google, is it true or not? But that's what I read. And if that's the case, to even be walking again is a miracle. I lost my leg because of mine. But by all accounts, when he gave his World Golf Hall of Fame induction speech, his daughter said they were at home. He had gone into hospital for the operation, and they still didn't know at that point until he went into the operation whether he'd come out with a leg or not.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm thinking that's how serious it was. So to see him walking and even playing is incredible.
Yeah. Because your new leg, then, has it got a gyroscope in it?
Yes, so it's basically replacing my knee. So I haven't got a knee. My thigh's in one piece, but I've still got a kneecap. But my quad's now attached to the top of my kneecap. And my hamstrings come around the end of my thigh bone and connect to the bottom of my kneecap. So I can still physically feel like I'm moving my lower leg up and down, and that's my quads and my hamstrings. So I can still rotate them. So it's a really, if they can do it, if they have to lose the lower leg, they try and do a through knee because they can keep the kneecap and keep those muscles moving.
Oh, okay.
So you imagine if they cut those muscles and you lose your kneecap, you can't really engage them.
Yeah.
So you get huge wastage and you get difficulties with your, and the skin that's on there is my old knee skin. So you're used to kneeling down on it. So the skin's relatively firm as well. So the knee they've replaced it with has got 2 pivot points. One is my knee, so the leg swings around that, and the other pivot point is a cylinder with a shaft. So that the cylinder can go in and out as the knee bends. And what they do with that cylinder, the valves on it control the hydraulic fluid going in and out, is controlled electronically. So basically what it means is a gyroscope sits in the leg, so it always knows how fast the leg's moving and what angle it is, and is there pressure on my foot. So when I move the top of my leg, the bottom bit follows, the gyroscope works out how fast it's all moving in real time and adjusts the valves to make sure the foot is always in the right place, ready for me to put my foot there. Absolutely incredible. It's almost bionic, but it costs a bloody fortune.
Yeah.
So,
did you get that, because when you were one of the first to use it?
No, it was the military. This was developed because of the Afghan conflict.
Okay.
They had so many limb losses. They had mechanical legs before then, which is what I had when I first lost my legs via the NHS. And then once my claim was settled, part of my claim was to get this latest electronic leg, because it's the closest thing to having my leg back. But they only last 6 years. But these were developed because there was such a high number of soldiers with limb loss that it just pushed development on. So if it hadn't been for the Afghan war conflict or in Iraq, and those soldiers, that's why I do a lot of stuff for soldiers' charities and stuff, because I feel passionate about them, because the ones for those guys putting their lives on the line, defend our country and our way of life, they wouldn't have lost their legs. They wouldn't have developed these new prosthetic legs, and I wouldn't be in the position I am now. So,
okay,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. So, this is a bit of a random question. What is one piece of golf equipment you think every professional golfer should have?
One piece of golf equipment? Well, golf ball, obviously. That's the first one.
What about a club?
I don't know.
It's no good without a club, is it?
Oh, let me think now. They got to have a club, they got to have a ball. So I'm trying to think. God, that's a difficult one because it doesn't have to be a glove. I don't know. Flummoxed me, yeah?
I don't know. It's just a bit of a random question, isn't it?
It is. It is random, and there's no real answer to it because you need
more than one piece of equipment.
It's got to be a golf club, but then you've got to have a ball as well.
You've got to have a ball, yeah. Because otherwise you can't play golf, can you?
No.
Whenever I used to play down Lanaravan, I always made sure I had a sausage roll in my bag. I gotta be honest. I used to have
no, that's fair enough. Yeah.
I always used to make sure I had some snacks.
I tell you,
didn't take a Mars bar with him.
It'll be bloody phones. Most of them will say, "I've got to have my phone."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so annoying, isn't it?
That could work.
What? Your phone?
Yeah.
Nah.
You've got to have a phone.
Why? You never used to have a phone back in 1985.
I know, but I didn't play golf then.
Hang on a minute then.
I was 20.
All right, plus 6. 1991.
Actually, I did have a phone.
In 1991?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in your house on the wall, wasn't it?
No, we had Nokias, wasn't it then? They were just started.
Yeah, it was Snake on them.
No. Yeah. Was it?
Honest to God.
Yeah, I think Sarah had one.
But I remember going to an apprentice. So this would have been I would always say if we had an apprentice, I would have been 25-ish. Yeah, so early 90s. And the apprentice was here now in the workshop. On his phone. I said, what the fuck are you doing? He said, texting my mate. I said, texting? What? And he's typing out, what time is it? I said, why don't you just ring him? That's pointless. Whoever thought that, I'll never catch on. And I remember having that conversation and saying to him, you idiot, what are you doing? And now everybody texts.
Yeah, nobody talks anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Nobody talks anymore.
Yeah, talking's a thing of the past now, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Apart from pioneers like you, mate, keeping it alive.
What?
Chopsing.
Oh, yeah, well, we're trying. Well, going on that then about phones, how do you think social media is changing the golf industry?
It's massive now. Social media is changing everything. Every single aspect of our lives is governed by social media in one way or another, whether we see it firsthand or whether it's going on in the background of the apps that we use and the permissions we grant, the advertisements we see are all through. Everybody's done it. You look on a Google. I'm looking for a tuxedo shirt because I've been invited to a formal dinner, right? So I haven't got a tuxedo shirt. Well, I have, but it's yellow because it's been in the attic for about 6 months. So I go on there. Oh, right. I'll jump on Facebook now and just catch up on my notifications. Jump on Facebook. First thing that comes up, blokes in tuxedos and dicky bows. You know,
Scary,
those cookies, don't. And I've been watching a program called Devils on Netflix. Brilliant. It's really, really good. And it shows it's all about the financial market. It's a bit like Billions, I suppose, but how this data is based back pre-pandemic. And it showed how they anticipate these things, what will come out of it, and the track and trace. So they're talking about a track and trace app that they can use in China for monitoring their SARS outbreak and stuff like that. If we can get something like that, they go in, this could be great. Our data mining could be huge. We can predict elections. We could rig elect. And it was all about the presidential election being rigged, Trump's election and all this. Really fascinating, but all based on events that have happened.
Yeah.
But retrospectively. So as though they're preempting it all. And it's just how these people at the top of the world order, so to speak, they govern everything. They govern our data, our lives, what we see, what we think, what we do.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Do you think your phone listens to you rather than...
Yeah, all the time. Alexa does all the time.
Yeah.
It's always listening.
Yeah, because we talk about stuff at home and then next thing you know, it pops up on your phone or...
But when we were
that's
having
just because you're going on porno about it, because that's nothing to do with Alexa listening to you.
So the plumber that we had plumbing our house, when we had he came back, there was some issues with they had a pipe wrong or something. I can't remember what it was. And he came back, and I said, "Oh, I was the missus in the net, but I'll split that." He went, "What?" He said, "I caught her messing around." Like, you went, "What? How'd you catch her? Like walked in on him?" No. I heard him on Alexa.
Oh, really?
What? There's a thing on there that you can speak via your phone and comes out on the Alexa in the house.
Yeah.
Right? And he showed me how to do it. And I went, Jesus Christ. And he could hear his missus via Alexa having it off with some bloke, you know.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ. And it shows you. So if they can do that, they're listening.
Yeah, they're always listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
It's 1984. All over, you know. H.G. Wells had it smack on. So.
Was it H.G.
And that's
Wells?
just how it works. I'm convinced that's how society works.
Yeah, nowadays it definitely does. It's not like
not
like the old days, is it? You know. Do you actually teach golf, Mike?
Not officially.
Yeah.
But I love helping people. So Sean, for instance, he had all the ability, but no finesse really, I suppose. So just guiding him, and he's down now. He's he's an absolutely brilliant player now. I think it's because of his coaching background.
Okay, yeah.
And being an athlete and being a professional sportsman, he wanted to get better. So we really took on board the little tips I'd give him and show him. And fair dues to him, he'd work on it straight away and you'd see the difference. And his ability just blew through the roof. He's great. And if I'm playing my disabled events, I'm trying to beat these guys. But if I can see they're fundamentally struggling with something in their game, and it's an easy fix, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Try this. I know we're in a competition or we're in a practice round, but try this. And then when you see them hitting it and really getting twitchy and edgy and nervous over particular shots, if you can help them get out there, they just enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And then that's that, as I said at the beginning, that's that. You see the joy in it when they're suddenly hitting a shot that they were terrified of. They realise how easy it is, and they go into you, oh my God, Mike, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's better than, that's the bit I found really rewarding, satisfying.
Yeah. Very good. And you still do your podcast?
No, we haven't done it now. We did it for 10 episodes.
Oh, right, okay.
I think. And it went quite well. But we might revisit it now because we were going down the same sort of route all the time and not mixing it up properly. And it was taking up a lot of my time, and we got really busy last year. So for me, it was time. But we're looking at possibly revisiting it now because we got a lot of the football boys on board. I've got a lot more connections in the golfing world than I had when I first started it. So it's important to keep mixing your content up like you guys are. So I watch yours all the time, and it's always different and it's always varied. So
well, at least you got one person watching, Dave.
It's all right.
I watch it. After. And you, there's 3 of us watching it.
Yeah, I don't watch them anymore. I give up.
Hey, mate, I just enjoy the chat. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, we try. So, all right then. Got anything, Dave?
No, I haven't. No, really. The only one was I went on your Facebook earlier on, and I saw that interview that you did with Davina McCall.
Oh, yeah.
This time next year, that was pretty cool. How did that come about?
Well, that was I'm trying to think now. I think it was one of the production team messaged me after some video that Edgar put out.
Right.
And they said, would you be willing to do? I said, well, what can I do? And originally it was going to be dance at my son's wedding. And they went, oh my God, that'd be fantastic. That'd be amazing. We got some great pictures. So I spoke to Josh, my son. He said, I'm having a film crew at my wedding. It's my wedding day. And I went, right, oh, fair enough. So I rang him back and said, I'm really sorry, but my son said absolutely no chance. So I said, but there's some other things I did, playing golf or walking on a beach. Where did you walk on a beach? I said, in a place in Zantes, King Cross. That could work, Have a think about what you can do, show us some photos and all that. So that happened, and you literally film it a year apart. So I go in, do the initial one, then go back a year later and film the second part. And she doesn't know the outcome at all. So when you film the second part, where you see her waiting at the door, she doesn't know if it's a success or a failure. So it's quite natural. But the thing was, if you watch it closely, right, she's literally half the size in the second bit. She had lost so much weight, went on her fitness program thing. She was tiny. I reckon I could have put my hands on her waist like that.
Yeah.
She was tiny.
Did they fly you to Santi then for the program?
No, we were going there on all day. I had it on my phone.
Tight bastards. But Dave only wanted Davina's phone number. That's why he asked you about that story.
Well, I have got your phone number. I can sell it to you for a certain amount of cash.
That's good to
anonymously.
What about the female golfer, Paige, as well?
Paige?
Yes. Is it Paige Sprinnick or Spranick or something. She's like a really attractive looking girl, and she's getting like lots of haters because she's probably too good looking or something to be a female golfer. I think she's winning as well.
That.
Yeah. There's a lady called, I think she's called Paige Springnick or something.
Twitter is the worst. So Facebook, I went off Facebook for a while, but it's sort of actually I'm getting more engaged on that. Definitely more engaged on Instagram, but Twitter is just a hate fest. I find that's all I find. It's just pompous people who think they're well educated, decide to try and shoot and slag people off.
Yeah,
that's what Twitter's about. So the ones I follow Ricky Gervais, and I tell you the other one who's absolutely brilliant is Jason Manford.
Oh, right, yeah.
The comedian, because he just loves teeing them up. He waits for the comments to come in and then just has a ball with them.
Yeah.
He just doesn't take it seriously.
I follow John Cleese as well, and John Cleese is the same.
It's just so entertaining. You see him trying to be all pompous and picking at each other up on their spelling. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit how you spelled it? I know what you mean. I think you'll find
yeah.
Christ.
If you follow John Cleese, he gets some hates on his tweets, to be honest. It's shocking.
Well, are we looking on time, mate? Because I got one little story I could tell you.
Well, go on then.
Yes, yeah.
You might enjoy. So a good-looking man walks into an agent at Hollywood, back in the day, and says, "I want to be a movie star." He said, "Tall, dark, handsome. I've got experience on Broadway." And the man said, "Oh, great, just the sort of credentials we want." This was back in the 50s, 60s, And he said, "What's your name?" And he said, "Penis Van Lesbian." And he went, "What?" He said, "My name's Penis Van Lesbian." He said, "Look, mate, I'm sorry, but if you want to be a success in Hollywood, you're going to have to change your name." So, "No way, I'm not changing my name." He said, "The Van Lesbian name is centuries old, and I'm not disrespecting my heritage by changing my name. So, no, I'm not." He said, "Well, I'm sorry, I won't be able to represent you." And off he goes in a huff and leaves the office. 5 years later, the agent envelope lands on his desk, opens it up, a check for $50,000 and a letter. Read the enclosed letter. "Dear sir, I called in your office 5 years ago wanting to be an actor in Hollywood. You told me to become famous in Hollywood, I would have to change my name from Penis Van Lesbian. I refused, and I realized when I look back now, I was wrong. I should have taken your advice. I was too proud to come back to your office." So enclosed is a check showing the appreciation of the advice you gave me. Otherwise, I would never have made it with my God-given birth name. Yours sincerely, Dick Van Dyke. Nobody ever sees it coming. Nobody ever sees it coming. Penis Van Lesbian. Yours sincerely, Dick Van Dyke.
On that note.
There you go, mate. I don't think I could be any more inappropriate.
No, that's great. It's been nice to talk to you, Mike.
It's been great to catch up. Nice to meet you as well, mate.
Yeah, really and you, mate. And you.
That's my cousin, this is David.
I know it's your cousin. I could call him Steve. That's what I said, mate.
People used to call me Steve. In work, because I answer the phone, I answer it fairly quick, and I say, "It's Dave Evans." Loads of people think I'm saying Steve, so Steve Evans.
Oh, right.
Because I say it's Dave, because I always say "it's" in front of everything, so it's a Welshy thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like. That's the other one. Like.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
I don't say that.
That's because you're Dutch now. You go Urski Burski, although I keep saying this, but that's not Dutch, that's Swedish.
I try not to say that.
That was the chef off the Muppets, wasn't it? Woody.
Because sometimes if you hear people, well, especially when we're talking to some people and they say like all the time, sometimes I just crack up. Like. Because I count how many likes they say.
The one I do when I come across it, I really try not to do it. I don't think I do it a lot. And if they If they go, well, I went down the shop, like, I say, well, did you go down the shop? Or did you, like, sort of go down the shop?
Yeah.
So what was that, what's like going down the shop? Is that not going down the shop, but you think you're going? And they go, what the fuck are you on about? I said, oh, shut up, you clown. So I do it with my son. My son's got a terrible habit for doing it, and he's a teacher, so he should know better.
Yeah.
But there we go.
All right, then, mates. We'll wrap it up.
Great catching up with you.
And you give my love to Beth.
I will.
Sherry says hi.
Oh, is she there?
She's upstairs. But don't log off, and I'll call her down for you.
No, it's okay, mate. I got to. What is it? Fight last 8.
Yeah.
I've got to go and watch the new. What do you call it now? With
Coronation Street.
The Lazarus Project.
I've got to watch Coronation Street. Yes.
I never watch soaps ever.
No.
I don't either.
Never.
We don't get them over here.
Like, so me and Sean were playing golf in Abu Dhabi last week, and he said I can't wait to get home. Long drive back. It was something like 3.5 hour drive. Oh, when I get back now, we'll settle down on a set. You watch Love Island with the kids.
Oh,
what?
I couldn't think of anything worse.
You went, seriously? I said, I don't watch any of it. He said, what do you do? I said, go to bed. I don't watch any of that. Oh, Love Island, RuPaul's Drag Race. We don't watch soaps at all in our house. So we've got better things to watch.
Yeah, to be honest.
Ozarks to watch.
Yeah, Ozarks is great. But we very rarely watch television anymore, to be honest.
Oh, it's always on. Always got it on.
All right.
Right then. Cheers, lads. Great to see you.
And you.
Thanks for coming on.
When I'm over for the Dutch Disabled Open, mate.
Yeah. I missed you the last time.
Definitely have a catch up.
Yeah. All right. Don't log off.
Okay.
All right. Ta-ra.
All right.
See you, lads.